Hey everybody, we're going to go ahead and do our Sunday prep and take a look at the market. We had a major gap down or move down rather on Friday. Trump threatening mad tariffs, and as per usual, um, we got a delicious taco. And of course, this is allowing price to completely move back up, leaving a massive, and I mean massive, gap behind us. That being said, we're treading on thin ice, but the levels have never been clearer. I can't emphasize that enough. So reading and reacting, while this week might be um, volatile, Monday, I don't know how much because obviously banks won't be here, but we should be having a good time up or down. So, yeah, Trump, yeah, exactly. Alrighty. So, first things first, before we look at the charts, refresh our minds. Again, government shutdown, so got to take that into consideration this week. Fed Chair Powell speaking on Tuesday. Nothing really going on Monday. Nothing really going on Wednesday. Thursday, core PPI, core retail sales, PPI, retail sales, unemployment claims, again, tentative because of the shutdown. So we'll see if we even get those data points. But other than that, the rest of the week, relatively unentertaining. However, if you take a look at your charts, this is where the excitement lies. So last week, and I will say I was a little bit disappointed because if you go look, and this is just the nature of the game, I can't be mad that I'm right and just the wrong time because that's again the nature of the game that and the beast that we're currently dueling with. So that being said, we did go down, and if you remember any of the analysis that I gave, I talked about retesting the 580, 582, and we did that. And of course, now we have bounce. I suspect that we could be looking at a gap up somewhere around 593 or somewhere around 598. Now, the obvious play off of that could be a major move up, squeezing a ton of shorts out, filling up empty space to the upside. So it's definitely something that it's going to be volatile. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. The yellow ones are sour. The stream is going to be periodically interrupted with minor acts of self-souring. I don't know. That sounded like I'm shitting myself on stream. Anyway, you get it. All right, so that was delicious. Sheesh. Retest, breakdown, and now at this point we look to the NQ, and we are current. And there's really nothing, nothing that we can do as of right now. If you're unless you're trading futures, if you are trading futures, I would be reusing some of these boxes like this. I suspect yeah, babe, that's where you're at right now. You could be looking for a major break, and that's where we can look at the overall markets to move back up to potentially test 2,500. Remember, this is squeeze territory, and this is definitely an area where grabbing some hedges would have been a decent idea because of this sort of market conditions. So let's move on. Now, last week, again, same thing with SPY, major leg down. You did end up diving all the way to that first red candle and beyond, right? If we move down into a lower time frame, we had this little box right here and range here. We tapped right off of that 646. And again, we look at what's above us. So tomorrow, guys, tomorrow, if you're going to day trade, yes, you probably should have a plan and be up a little bit earlier so that way you can map out your structure or be doing it now because this is ultimately when it is most important. So the floor right now on SPY is 657.60. That I think gives you a pretty straightforward target of 660. And again, where we open up will ultimately matter. On the 2 hour, you have a clear level at 655. That old box that we punched through right here, that will be reliable in taking this back up. But remember, and I don't want to I don't want to put any crazy ideas in anybody's head. But what I do want to say is the last time that we saw gap downs like this, and who knows what we're in for this week. Pray it's nothing crazy. By the way, if you're on here, this is free. Tap your screen. Appreciate you. But with that being said, the last time I saw major gaps down or a major move like that down and then see a fat gap like that, it was really, really hard for it to immediately come back down. We squeezed out, but it left a ton of empty space. And we ended up turning right back around. This did also happen during COVID, but again, we shall see. So tomorrow morning, I'll see you guys in the morning, and that's where we're going to do the majority of our prep. We'll take a look at RTY really quickly as well. This one did gap up all the way back on its floor, same thing. And now we can either retake the trade below that 24.21, but there is, like I said, empty space all the way back up to 24.75. It did, yeah. And if you look at IWM, it's not my favorite. I'm not really trading this one. I do like it a lot, and if you took a bounce trade on it, killer. But you're probably looking at a 239.50 gap up, and that's where you'll see that 244 retest to the upside. All right, that is all of our ETFs going into this week. Now, again, we can map these things out. I'm not really concerned about doing that until we are until the morning, right? Until we see the actual bounce or open, excuse me. That being said, there is still some things that are on my watch list that, again, I'm not weighing out. One of them was Tesla, and I was really stoked about the position and where I took it. I was able to take a rejection due to the fact that we had opened up and retest that top resistance. I was able to take Tesla to the downside. Now, those contracts are up pretty well, but I'm obviously looking at the majority of this empty space. I did remember looking on the 4-hour and seeing potential channel-like behavior. I don't know where Tesla is at, and I don't really care. Because again, I have an average that's completely knockout. That being said, there is a 4-hour channel that we're operating in here, but more importantly, there it is. That is the floor at 416. If we gap up above that, I suspect we shall be retesting with no issues right around 426, 425. Tesla grapple up $11. We'll see where it opens. All right, we're going to Black Cherry here. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't stop eating. Citric acid. That's good. All right. Well, there could be a sell-off, but what I'm not doing is I'm not going to start projecting ideas based on shit that I don't know. So sleep sound tonight and wake up early tomorrow, have a plan, map out the structure or whatever on the NQ. But right now, is trading possible right now? If you're trading the NQ, but we're prepping for the week ahead. So with that being said, again, we need to map things out as soon as the market opens, create a plan, and then we'll trade it. Jamil, if you want to put it off, you can. If you don't want to activate your membership immediately. All right. If you guys have any requests, I would love to see what those are now. Let me know which direction you're looking at, up or down. Copy your message so that way you can resend it. See if we can't add anything to the watch list. All right. Let's see. I just scrolled up, so I'm gonna go look at what the past ones were. Yeah, it's definitely a red 40. All right, on. So this is going to be true for so many stocks. You're going to have to wait and actually see where this opens up at. Because ultimately, right now, you have a weekly floor right around the $48 level. And then you have that retest that came off of 45.50, 24-hour. So, yes, this could potentially see continuation to the downside, but the 4-hour seems to clear that up really, really well. 46.85 recovery and 47.50, excuse me, 47.40, and that's obviously where retests are going to occur, and you could retake that trade later on. The target here does still seem pretty clear at 44.13. You bounced off of an old box that you had punched out of here. So, yeah, underneath 45.15, you'll see continuation. All right, I'm moving it fast here. How do we handle all the empty space that was created to the downside? Map it out in the morning, man. I'll be live in the morning. Do it with me. All right. RTX up. So, I mean, you do get two massive legs down here. Um, and you want to, the NQ's levels are so clear, man. They're so clear that it's stupid. It's stupid. It's going to be easy to map out in the morning. Hold on one second. I'm looking. All right, RTX up. Okay. I mean, theoretically, that's already been punched through. And so what would be underneath you is just this floor, and that's where you drop. So upside would occur obviously above the 157.50, 157.77 wick, where we'd be looking at a 162 retest up above you. So yeah, this is something you're going to map out on a lower time frame. That is a confirmed level at 159.82. Nice reversion on China. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. The fuck is that? This just sounds like a stock that's gonna make me mad. Uh-oh. Hmm. There you go. 22.50, 23.88, 30-minute candle close. Empty space directly underneath you. Floor is here at 21.28. So if you pull back, that's where you retest. And if you lose that, you go to 20.50. Why do I get so angry? Some charts just make me mad. They're untradeable. Ooh, look at that little bastard right there. So honestly, this could be that fucking shot that we need to get up to a new high. And go fill that, or not a new high, but to go fill that empty space. And I like that. I like the way this looks a lot. Okay. So you have structure here, bounce and pull off of it. You have a floor over here. You're above that. 2 hour there. Okay. So we did bounce. Ooh, this is looking good. Obviously, market rotation back up. All of the, I mean, we sold off really, really good. This is the type of setup that's, well, I'll take a look at it in a second, man. But all right, so with TDD or TTD, you do have empty space directly up above. You did save face on that level. So with that being said, 30-minute time frame is going to be your best friend here in order to trade that empty space. Here's your range. Your range has the floor of 5170. There is a lot of empty space up there. So with market cooperation, I think you have a good retest of 53 guaranteed. And that at that point, we're looking for a potential move to cost basis. So yes, this is worth setting an alert on, and everybody could be watching it. Obviously, with the market conditions right now, we're being careful, but yeah, you get it. What the fuck? Oh, it's cool. Mm-hmm. For expirations on TTD, probably going out November if you're looking into the upper 60s. So okay. Oh my God. Yeah. So this is not something that I'm going to really, again, be able to help you with. You're going to have to chart this one on your own, on lower time frames. You have a large range right here. You have a clear level of 279.60. You have a small box underneath that separating you from empty space there. But and that could give you a target of 179. On the flip side of that, I'm sure, no, there's not really empty space up there. That chunk of volume right there that shares 347 as a previous resistance, that's where I'd be looking at that break to the upside. But right now, that's not something I would trade because it's still in a box. Yeah, Taco Trader. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of money to be made this week. Okay. SMCI. Keep dropping your requests, guys. I'm trying to move through all of them. $50 retest right there. Now, I don't like that giant fluctuation in price. Typically, I mean, if you guys look at this, let's see, was that earnings? That was earnings. And you do have earnings. Okay, so you do have earnings soon. You just create a lot of empty space. You still have empty space directly underneath you. So $50 lost is likely going to give you a 48.50 retest. However, because of the fact that you did dump so hard and you are likely going to gap up, this old box and that old floor of $54 would be in need of recovery. At that point, you have empty space up above you and a trigger to go long at 58.40. I had some positions on Nike. Motherfucker went and hit 63 on the dot. That's the thing, is everything technical played out. It just played out too fast. So, with that being said, Nike is liable to go back up. The only other thing is if, and again, right now I'm looking at where we open up at 63.70. If that's filled, there is a target remaining at 61.50, but we have to look at the lower time frames because there are going to be signals to potentially go long. One of those is going to be at 66.25 and 66.50. That, of course, is going to be achieved through the small range and first green candle to your left at 65. All right. All right. C up for earnings. Not a big fan of bank earnings too much, but we'll see where we're at. We got a nice little box right there. You're at cost basis. You jumped down, screamed down all the way to cost basis, which again, losing this could mean that you lose this. You know what this is, dude? That right there just screams market crash to me. Not market crash, but like huge dump. Oh yeah. Listen, if you look back on Citigroup, when it goes and makes a high and fails to build, it falls. And it seems its punchback is rather reliable. I think this does go down. I do think 88.14, but one also has to consider the price target of 83.40 as well as maybe even 78, depending. Oh shit. Depending on how far we go down. But we are at cost basis and back up above 97.40. We should expect for Citigroup to go back up. With earnings, you don't seem to be moving. I mean, that's decent. That's a move from 72 to 77. You can catch better moves during the day. Look at that. So it's not a great mover going into earnings, but yes, with the empty space down underneath it, if you're playing off of what the fuck is that? Thank you. Thanks for the gifts, guys. I didn't even see those. Um, no crypto analysis until like the end. Um, Disney. Are we cooked on Disney? The mouse, as he does, may have you fried. Now, danger is here. Target is there. And the floor is here that we're at right now. We're also in a channel. I think we talked about this. That's, yes, where hopefully you have hedged. And yes, there is empty space up above you. So yes, I am looking at a potential retest, if anything, possibly back up to the 11.17 level. But where we open up, and if we gap up, that will leave a gap behind. But looking at this right now, I hope he hedged. We'll see. Maybe Trump spills the inside of his tacos. Ooh, fan club. I don't know what this is, but apparently it hit my target. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it hit my target, and that was 61.66, and you failed to grab the floor. I suspect this one's coming back down to 460. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm eating Cheetos right now. They're not even Cheetos. They're Barbara Cheetos. Because I'm an elitist. Pinkies up. Listen, BA, that shit almost had me losing my mind. I'm starting to think that this one's about to drop. And I think if it's going to be, it's going to be under 208.26. We're going to see a drop down to 203.40. But this little channel here is still in play. So I am actually looking for Boeing to potentially go back up. But as of right now, yeah, 203. All the AI longs are cooked. Why? Is AI bad? I've never gotten to be a, thank God. Listen, coin did make a lower high, playing into this channel a little bit. This box, if you guys remember trading this mother. This one did end up popping up, pulling back, little pop out. So now this is going to be a retest of that very same resistance that you broke out from. How you did it is going to determine on obviously what you do from here. But due to the fact that we are seeing futures and Bitcoin move back up, we should be expecting or possibly anticipating a retest of 367. If that's recovered, then we got to start looking at the empty space back up to 380, 470. So I hedged, and I hope that anybody in here who did bring head or swung down, I don't blame you. I did too. I did too. Now, my 580 puts, my 580 puts, my 580 puts is fucking, no, I was kidding. But I hedged them for a reason. But if I have to get out of them, I will. My target got hit. My target, listen, target got hit. Money, ton of money was made this last week. But I thought, fuck it, I'll leave that on the table there and I'll grab hedges. Why am I holding this like a cigarette? All right. Did I do what? I did trim the 580s, yeah. But at some point, you make so much off of the weeklies and the shorter expirations that it just makes sense to leave money on the table when you see more potential on the chart. Only, not if you just feel like it, but because something. And again, the shitty thing is it hit my target, but when I couldn't touch it. I had a feeling that he was going to taco, but I didn't think it was so soon. All right. What exactly are you trying to do to this? Whether, yeah, he could flip in the morning, but it's all good. Don't get hung up on what you didn't do or what you left on the table, man. Like seriously, move forward. The market is about to start fucking pouring cash out of its ears shortly. So let's see. I mean, it already is. We're seeing a butt ton of fucking volatility. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude, because this is up at all-time highs. The only thing that I can really mention or say at all is whether it has boxes, which it does, and it looks like a cost basis 7141. If that punches down, then you can start looking for that empty space underneath you, man. But I really can't help you. So I hate how he did it over the weekend, guys. But don't listen. How many weeks have you seen me do this shit? And sometimes you're not going to be right. I'm not going to be right all the time. I'm going to be right and wrong. I was right, but I was wrong because it bounced where I said it was going to bounce an hour after the market closed. What are you going to do? I'm here to take risk, calculated risk, low risk, high reward. A cube short was not low risk. Although I could still be green on those. I mean, I'm not cooked. I have like a great average. I wish, yeah. Trump, he tacoed out. Trump always taco chickens out. That's what he did. All right, let's see here. We got. So I'm in this with you guys, and hopefully this one kind of slips past the fucking rest of them. But CCL ended up dumping to 27.50. We're looking for the next target at 26.90. Obviously, there's going to be 28 flat and 28.40 as serve as rejections. Am I getting on early tomorrow morning? I'll be on at 8:30, 8:15, maybe a little bit early. I'm gonna try not to play Battlefield tonight, or at least too much. I was waiting 87 years for this game. 87. All right, no more cheese puffs. I've lost it. I've lost it, guys. Isn't market closed tomorrow? Why would you be on? I don't think the market's closed tomorrow. I think the banks are closed tomorrow. After Friday, aren't the boxes out the window? No, sir. The boxes are going to be pivotal. Levels are going to be pivotal. Be here tomorrow morning, and we're going. Listen, here's what we're going to do tomorrow morning. We're going to calm the fuck down, right? Because being amped. Is it Memorial Day? I swear to God, if we're closed tomorrow, I swear. Is it Memorial Day? All right, hold on. I don't want you guys to say yes or no. ChatGPT, because that's going to be our best friends. What's up, Chatty? What is the stock market open tomorrow? Okay, you're referring me. Wow, I just got a referral from AI. Fucking idiot. Hello, the U.S. stock market includes the NYSE Nasdaq will be open tomorrow on Monday, October 13th. Yep, yeah. Despite it being Columbus Day, however, the U.S. bond market will be closed on this day. Hey, yuck. Dude, I got a mad amount of people commenting shit on my videos on TikTok and then deleting them. Diabolical. I also have somebody in the Discord who thinks that his side profile, I don't know about it. And he's been like dropping like comments like he's not in the Discord. That's okay. I like to let nature play out. All right. CCL looks good. Cash account sales Friday won't settle. Yes, if you don't have any cash settled, wrap it up. Yeah, like I don't see it. Yeah, it's always Jose. Uh, keep dropping the request. Where'd they go? Yeah, it is Columbus Day, but we still have. I mean, here's the thing: if we have to, if it's flat, then it's flat. But the banks aren't here, so what the fuck are we supposed to do if they're not injecting cash? We'll see. All right. Anyway, Charter. Nope. Charter Communications. Holy living hell. So you definitely didn't have the volume, and you definitely are going to have to go and find it. With that big of a drop, obviously, maybe you can keep it. I think on the weekly, you might end up being in range. Still, you are still in range. So there is a possibility that you can bounce, but with that sort of laying down and lower time frame potential punchback, you got to start looking at what's directly underneath it, which is 236.87, which has been retested. However, when it does get back up above 282.39, set an alert. Everybody in here, if you understand my system right now, why are you not setting an alert right here with me? Tell me why. Tell me why. Or I'm a fucking ban you. Ooh. I'll be here all week. CRWE. Set your. I'll keep singing like that. Okay. Bah! You teach courses? No, I don't teach courses. But I do have a workshop where I teach you my strategy so you can become an independent trader. And so that way you don't need no man. He is the course. Enter. Okay. See that? Potter teaches has a kith. When is the workshop? The workshop is already there. Thomas, if this is your first time watching me though, dude, I don't want you to buy my workshop. I want you to watch these live streams and go to my YouTube channel and actually go and kind of like look through those videos, the educational playlist, and then make a decision, please. For us both. All right. Yep. CoreWeave has 3 rejections right around the top on the 24-hour. It lacks a lot of empty space. Not sure what we're looking at here, but there is a box up above you that separates you from any sort of reversal to the upside. Candles are closing at 144.39. Take that into consideration. Underneath you, you don't really have your quintessential boxes, but you do have pretty good ranges. And underneath 127.40, I suspect this could keep coming down, but with the gap up, if it follows along, it would be outside of 140, 144 that you would be looking up. I don't like that one because it's dumb. Why is the workshop? Why is the workshop? Now that is a deep ass question. Not how much is it or what is it? Why is it? So you can be an independent trader. All right, let's see. What do we got? Do you enter when the candle breaks out of a box, or do you need other confluences? Typically a box into empty space, man. I don't try. I try to take as there are a few confluences that matter when I'm placing price targets, but Carter has earnings at the end of the month. It typically moves. Oh, okay. Never mind. Got to mention that. Yeah, that changes things. I would say you could look down here at 103. For a big old dumpy, or I'd say 166 to hedge. Now there's a lot of empty space. Remind me on that one, dude. I'm gonna set in a little bit of alert, but remind if you don't mind, I'm about to get my $500 fucking calendar put up on my wall finally, so I can start throwing. Literally, it's gonna be dope. I'm gonna be able to either Ivy can do it, or I can tell my phone to do it, and then it will just pop up on my wall. I am Bill Gates. All right. Can I do Nike? Yeah, Nike already hit our target, man, and now we're going to be sad because it's probably going to bounce. However, it could leak down into 61.31 if we don't recover anything. And by recover anything, that has to be the 50% mark, which is 66.55 following 66.68. So, why is Bill Gates? Now that is a fucking better question. Why is that man? Who is that man? Why did he go to that damn island so many times? Why did his wife divorce him? I want to hear more about leaps. You like AI? Good one. Yeah, AI actually has some good empty space. Target, I think, was another one that I liked for potential leaps when the trigger fire. AI definitely. Yeah, that just convinced me right there to buy equity. I watched somebody buy equity and I told him to not do it, but I think he did it anyway. And he bought a shit ton of it and then it fell. And he never sold until it got to the bottom, and then he sold, and then it went back up. It's crazy. That being said, yes, Win C3 AI, which also I might have discussed this already, but it has a wonderful setup to go back up. We have a box right here. We have everybody setting alerts right now if they're taking this trade with us or if they're looking for this trade, because it did get a good bounce, proper bounce off the box through the empty space. The empty space is created on a lower time frame with lots of little green candles directly up above us, and I think it's Chanel. Yes. Oh, oui. So yes, there is a potential to get up and out of here on AI with market cooperation. But that's going to start with a leg up on the 30-minute through these tiny little baby ranges. What the fuck is that? Oh, little. Thanks for the whatever that guy was. Okay, yeah, so 1781, 1808, 1826, but obviously with a good expiration, if you pick this one correctly, it should be fine. The empty space down on a lower time frame like that, it's all aftermarket stuff. So again, we're gonna have to map this one out in the morning. AZN deal with Trump. I stay away from these ones. That's at all-time highs from what I can tell, brother. And so this one, I'm going to leave it all to you, my guy. Now, when you get to all-time highs, usually you want to see buyers hold, and they are. So that enthusiasm needs to hold, because if you drop down underneath 83.50, that play could reverse. Buy the rumor, sell the news type shit. QBTS looks juicy to the downside. Yes, there is downside potential because of the empty space, but because you're shorting as it's going up, you have to consider the risk. Now, underneath 3171 or on the lower time frame, a Potter box, which is right there. Cost basis is perfectly placed at 32.50. 32.50 break to the downside. First target would be right here at 29. Second target would likely be at that 27.81. Does look good. Do set alerts. Set alerts, motherfuckers. ABAD. I just really want you guys to set alerts so you can really make some money, because setting alerts will help you not get stuck on one stock. Collar. Okay, so you're building, and you did have a big, nasty drop, but you held your floor. You also dipped into this little range right here, right off the 50% mark. So yes, AMAT back up doesn't look too bad. You have a little channel here you're bouncing off of. So first target's 213.77, rolling up to 220. And then of course, at that point, you're looking for a break over 223.20 to go higher. All right, KR. Kroger is a nightmare, not a good trading stock. It does have decent earnings, which no, those are pretty far away. Decent earnings moves, but outside of that, brother, this thing is almost unreadable on the 24-hour time frame. On the weekly time frame, I can tell you right now that you have all the makings of a box or of a range. You are testing the 50% mark, so obviously this is where you could end up going and touching that for a third time. However, if 69/70 holds, perhaps this is a retest for a rejection. But from there, man, I really don't want to sit here and guess when it's not clear. So Wales just called out Congressman buying Kroger. I mean, you're bending in the right way, but I'll also say this: it's at all-time highs, outside of my wheelhouse. And if you're new here, guys, I'm always honest about what my weaknesses are. I don't trade at all-time highs. There's too many other things that obviously allow me to do something else. All right, Bill. And I have to go off of my setup. You know, my strategy is how I became profitable. So going outside of that, or you can do it, but like for me, not my thing. These are coming out soon. They'll be out real soon, guys. My weakness is your baby blue eyes. All right. Interesting. Dollar Dolly Billion, it is 56.50 or 45. That is where you can go up. And I can see that plain as day. You have a box directly underneath you that you punch down through. You are retesting that on the weekly. You did retest that relatively quickly, so that could make for a decent retest, pop back up. And yes, over 53.10, you could be looking for a new high. All right. Chingalawe, yeah, dude. By the way, that's spelled with an I. I think that says Vergen. The Vergen River water. All right, Baba. Oh, Baba. What do you think, Pearl? What do you think? Huh? Here, let's see what all three of my cats think. What do you think? Yeah, she thinks this is trash. I agree. Thank you, Pearl. This has lots of empty space, big move down, lots of empty space down, but it hit the 50% mark of that move. And with Trump and his taco, this thing could see a gap up. You really have to wait until tomorrow. Do I have a black cat? Yes. I have I have two black cats. Show them your feet, dude. No. Where's Anakin? He's over here. I have a giant cat tree. I don't know. I can't. My computer's fixed. I'll show you another time. All right. That's a big ass cat right there. Oh man. Jamil, sorry to hear that, dude. That's how big they are. Yeah. I'm on the East Coast. LAES. Oof, man, this one's outside of the wheelhouse, brother. This one's new. It looks doesn't look like it has a ton of good trading. I mean, there is a lot of. I mean, I don't want to say there's not good trading volume, but as of right now, it seems like you're almost pinned in between that high. Stop it. Yeah, well, stop. Um, yeah, there's actually four cats in my office right now. Two on my desk, one in a chair, and one in the cat tower. Neither. Well, based off of the fact that we did hit our level on Friday, I suspected we would bounce off of that, and we did. So, I think the main point is you can't bounce unless you do hit those targets, which you go look at the cues, and it did hit that target. So you want to say that Trump tacoed out? That's also fine. But damn, did they probably already know that shit because that shit hit the level that it had to and then bounced, which is typical. Tesla, we did Tesla. That one will be in the recording. Car, I actually like this one a lot, guys. This one's at the floor right now, and look at here. What happened? Hold on, we might have to add that to the watch list again, which I think I've traded this one before. It didn't work out that well, but I will try it again. Car and car over 149.25. Add that to the watch list. Target on that one would be, I'm going to get rid of the channel. If it bounces, first target would be here at 158. And then you'd be looking for a pop through that box or through the 24-hour box, which is directly up above you, but through that box. And that's where we would be targeting more than likely 189. Fast car. All right. NVIDIA Q. Okay, so it's an inverse. It's pretty simple. This is either a retest, right, to go punch back up and see $1, and then a punch through that and see 134. Um, honestly, man, I mean, this is probably a great hedge against your NVIDIA equity. But yeah, that's what you're looking at right now. NVIDIA, obviously being the tracker here. Um, it does look like there's a channel here somewhere, and it might be right here, but it's not reliable enough for me to lean on. And then what's really my issue with this one is the boxes are so small and far away from each other, and then there's these odd, like right here. Like, that's not really, dude, you got to stop. 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 You're shaking the whole desk, dog. Cat, I'll eat you. I love you, though. Yeah, she's a sweet kitty cat. All right. Shock him. No, I saw that Hassan thing. Yeah. So with Open Door right now, I would probably be leaning on this channel here as well. You're bouncing off the floor. You've got a floor directly up above you. This is outside of my wheelhouse though, because again, there's just maybe if you break down, you got an empty space right here. But again, you guys can tell that I really like I'm it's nothing against you guys. I really hate or not hate, but like I just get like ugh, you know what I mean? Like by things that just don't like that's not where this even unless it had news and dumped off of that and just collapsed down. This is something that's unless you're invested in it or you're trying to hedge it, this has I hate it. I hate it. When you have like tiny little pockets to move through, 50 cents to move through, like, dude, 50 cents my ass. You know what I'm saying? You want down? You want down? Say goodbye. All right, back in the basket. Damn, why are my cats being so fucking moody, dude? All being so moody. Happy Halloween. I'm trying not to crash out, dude. Trying. I need some good charts. Where the charts at? All right. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Um, so all of the empty space to the downside has been filled. You did end up recovering your floor, which obviously does give you the potential to reverse. However, when you did bounce, you did pop up and you hit your previous resistance and drew back down. So if you take it, you're trying to take the same play that's already been accomplished once again. And if you're taking it down, if you're taking it up, you're looking for a break over 63.71. Really simple. Yeah, what direction are we looking at on that, guys? Give me a up or down, please. I'm only answering the requests that have the up or down. Are you selling covered calls or something? We talked about Sezzle. We talked about this little mark right here. It did end up bouncing off of it. So keep your eyes peeled on it. It is still obviously not clear, but it is 79.17. And really what I would be focused on with Sezzle, if you are looking to take it up, is this floor slash box right here. So if this it has a ton of empty space down, but with the market bouncing the way it is, it also has empty space directly back up. You've already dumped a ton. You're getting close to earnings, which this is apparently when it moves. So write down Sezzle because that is absolutely a earnings trade. That one we could take with the small account we're doing. Uh-huh. By the way, if you guys are in the Discord and you are struggling or you're new or whatever the case may be, you should probably get a trader view or some sort of trade tracking app as soon as possible. And you could send me screenshots of that, especially on the days that you lose or the weeks that you're losing, because most of you are going to find out that it's you. All right, Amazon. So again, a chart with pretty much no empty space except for to the upside. You did punch through this box, or no, you didn't actually. You held over cost basis, you had a box directly underneath it as well that you did bounce off of. So now, obviously, we're probably anticipating a gap up tomorrow. So if you're going to go up, it's going to be because you're back up above 216. And the real retest should be at 217.88. Now, if you recover that, then sure, you could be looking at Amazon trying to make its way back up. I don't really see a channel there, but again, just a chart that really doesn't have, I mean, it has empty space, but it has something that it has to do. How do I know why to trade? That's a great, what are so many why questions today? How do I know what to trade? Because I have a strategy that I created and I know what a good setup looks to me. And so if I see that, that's where I add that to the watch list. Car, Sezzle. Sezzle has an earnings setup. So, you know, AI. So that one has, oh, we just went over that one. Yeah, I like AI. I like the gap fill. I like the pop up above 18. I think that gives you a retest up to 1877. Ultimately, if this calls for market recovery, which is basically what we're looking for, is we need a 24-hour candle close outside of 1869. That is what has to happen. If that can't occur, then we can look for that trade to the upside. Yeah. What's up, Flip Flipper? Did I cover K View? That one is retesting, my guy. Retested your floor. It seems like it's pulling back off of that. So either you're going to create, yeah, so you got to look at what you broke through. You have a channel or a box right here. You have an old box right here. So both of these things are liable to get retested. But if they're broken through, especially the 16, 18 level, that's where you're looking back down. But lots of structure underneath you, which just makes this a little tougher. So you see something good and you buy right away. No, that is the opposite of what I do. When I see a good setup, I immediately do top-down analysis from the weekly to the 24-hour time frame. Then I look at the contracts. If the contracts fit the script, which I need low risk, high reward, then I will take that trade. If that also means that I need to wait for a 24-hour candle or more or less to close outside of something in order to confirm that that trade is going to happen, I'm going to do that. Do I see any good earnings setups this week? I'm gonna go over that tomorrow. We're gonna really probably use the first part of the morning if it's flat, to go over there. Chris, I'm not really anticipating anything quite yet. The banks are closed tomorrow, which is all of the money. And so, they may leave, may be moving things around early in the morning. But I'm waiting until the morning to create a plan. It's just that simple. Charter earnings are at the end of the month. Uh, well, they haven't really been doing quite well, but yes, there would be a target of 315 directly up here. Obviously, especially if we could see a reversal going into that, to then tomorrow it's literally 236. Tomorrow's waiting and watch. Yeah, a little, probably a lot of that. Again, if we don't, it's just so simple. If I don't, if this watch list isn't filled up with something that looks like I need to take it down, then I pretty much know that I'm not going to be taking any trades other than the ETFs, which have the most volatility right now and clearest levels. So I'll probably trade the Qs maybe tomorrow, depending on how we open. So Johnson and Johnson is at all-time highs. This is my weakness. I cannot help you here. I cannot. The only thing I can tell you is what's below you. Right now, you're sitting on 189.64. Car, Sezzle, Tesla, QQQ. Those are all on my watch list right now. Those are the main focuses. There's a couple of other setups like Nike and stuff like that that I'll be watching, but yeah. And right now the futures are climbing directly up. I mean, over 24,846. I mean, that shit looks like it's gonna rip. EGY. Oh yeah, that's right. Pagaya puts. Listen, that one also hit its target. The first target that I gave you at 2439 sucks that happened. I mean, it really does because here's the thing. I mean, I can tell you that this has happened to me, I don't know, maybe like 10 times where like we see a big giant market crash down or big move down. Um, and then that level ends up getting hit in after hours, which again, I'm right, but it doesn't matter because it happened already and it's going to bounce regardless. So but with that being said, Pagaya needs to stay underneath 2850 tomorrow, and especially 3140. That play would be over. To the downside, you need to keep pushing. Obviously there's still a target on the weekly much further, all the way to 1935. So we need that continuation to the downside. Should I start trading option on TradeStation compared to Rebull, where I have to apply for a level? You're gonna have to do that with any platform. Thank you, Fritz. Why do boxes look like supply and demand support? Well, listen, NQ box, everybody's play. Like if you didn't know what supply and demand and support and resistances are, then you would learn my boxes and then you would see somebody use supply and demand and you'd be like, oh, well, I see those are just boxes or something like that. How people utilize that information is how a strategy is created, right? Is this supply and demand? No, it's not. Is it just support and resistance? No. Are those things probably incorporated, or do I use them? No. I never properly learned supply and demand. Never. Oh yeah. It's not like I didn't combine them all. Here's what I'm saying. There's different names for the same thing because we're all looking at the same thing. We're all looking at the same market. So somebody might call what I say empty space. I think people call that part of empty space is fair value gaps, right? 3 bars or some bullshit like that. That's something that people use. I don't look at it that way. I don't trade it that way. I trade the way that I trade because it works. It's also way more simple and it allows for me to make lots of money. So I already did Disney. DKNG to the upside. Dude, this one's obviously yes at some point, but right now, with it hurtling down the way that it is to a weekly cost basis, you're sitting on the top of a weekly box. I guess you got also have to look at this back up, because if we see market wide bounce, it would be over 3567. You'd be looking back up. Um, yeah, there you go. Yeah. But anyway, the next target to the downside is 2950, but yeah, I think that's something that is going to be, again, tomorrow we should probably be conserving our energy because we do not want to, or tomorrow morning is when this is going to be the most important. Period. End of story. Tomorrow morning is going to be when this is going to be so important, because you're going to need to be up early tomorrow and you need to go over the watch list or whatever stock that you asked me tonight, and you're going to need to map that out top to bottom, because where we open up, this is unusual circumstances. We don't usually dump this hard. Wow. This one bounced right off of the channel here on the 4 hour, on the 24 hour. You are bouncing off of a box right here. That being said, you did leave empty space behind. So where do you need to gap up on? So you need to be above 71 and 72. 71 leads to 72. If that gets filled, then I would be trading it up to the bottom of the box at 74.55. And if you hit the momentum is right, because of the channel and where you're at, 1, 2, 1, 2, you should be and could be looking in here and in here. Shut up, Marvin. Get out of here. I am recording, yes. I'm recording. We've been recording now for about an hour and 16 minutes. I think I ate too many chocolate strawberries. Ugh. I bought a fondue thing. Bought a bunch of fancy fucking chocolate and white chocolate, but from fucking Spain or Switzerland or some shit like that. It was bussin', but I ate too much. MQ. Oh my god. Brothers and sisters. What are we doing? I cannot help you. I can because there's three here. So literally this is 1, 2, 3. You got to keep ripping. If you don't keep ripping, you need to rip out and retest and bounce and break. Or if you fall back down, that could be bad news. You got a lot of empty space underneath you. But other than that, oh yeah, he already tacoed, bro. Market crashers, he tacoed. Go look at futures, brother. Here, the taco has already been tacoed. And shit, we might get more tacos, dude. I got hedges, so I'm hoping that we open up and my hedges fucking pay off big time. So yeah, he said sorry for throwing a little fit because he didn't win the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. He's a you know, like imagine when I think of Trump, I think of like the Cheeto that fell down at the bottom of the trash can. It's just soaking up all the trash juice. He's a trash juice swollen Cheeto. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I don't see anything wrong with this setup right now, but as far as I know, it is only 57.55 from here. I'm posting this right after, yes. Right after. All right. So we did cover a lot of stocks. Hold on 1 second. Oh, so stupid. Yeah. AI. Yeah, still looking at AI. X says it's delisted. What is? What is delisted? I really hope that Elf maintains its fucking integrity here. My stream code don't pop up. Oh, my Steam code. Oh, I can give you my Steam code right now if you want it. Just like screenshot it or something. There. That's my Steam code if you need it. If you're playing Battlefield or anything like that, you can add me right there. Cool. All right. The ticker X. Oh, like Twitter maybe. Like Twitter is delisted. Yeah, remember that? That shit would be up so fucking high. Yeah. All right. Let's do a few more here. And we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I'll see you guys in the morning when this is going to matter the most. Cost basis at Bitfarms. Weekly time frame looks pretty good. You got a nice little retest here off of 320. So it's literally powering over that. On the lower time frames, this is more of a punch down. And it would be... Yeah, literally your previous high is your trigger to go to the 740s. So, all right. Marvel. Marvel could be good. You did come back down. You did retest off of the box that you broke out from. Beautiful cost basis. You got empty space back up above you. So map this out. Keep it simple. Your floor is here. Your top is there. Your cost basis will be at 92.37. And that will be reached if you can gap up above 87.90. Obviously, outside of 92.37, you could be looking at a target of 99.60. I did do Tesla. This will be uploaded. By the way, if you guys are watching the YouTube channels, if you guys don't mind dropping comments, anything like that, it helps. The channel has been growing pretty well, though. Pretty stoked on it. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern time. Flash sale is still here. If you are looking to sign up, that should, I think Ivy said we have 3 spots left. So if you're looking to sign up, I'm probably not going to do another one until right before the week of Halloween. And then we'll go from there. NQ just fired off another alert. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, you know what? Our hedges might actually fucking bless us. We might actually end up getting out of this pretty well. So, all right, guys, you guys have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys tomorrow. Let's have a good week. Let's not do dumb shit. Let's abide by our risk. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.